Good evening, folks, and welcome to yet another exciting Tuesday night race for the PCRS series here. Pocono Raceway Cup Series featured here on NASCAR Heat 3 by the Midnight Broadcasting Network. I'm Alexander Ned, joined in the booth by Nick and AJ, who will be joining us here momentarily. Nick, tonight 16 drivers will try to tame Monsters of the Mile here at Dover International Speedway. It is 200 miles around a grueling 1-mile concrete canyon. What's in store for these drivers today?
Man, a lot of close driving, I gotta say, Alex. I think it's going to be another night of good racing. I was looking at the starting lineup. Looks like that 14 Smoke, second pole in a row. That pole at Charlotte last week. So I'd like to see how he starts off. I know he had kind of a poor going through there, but Dover, I love Dover. And also having it right after the Monster Energy Cup race, it's gonna be a good time. What do you think we're going to be in store for tonight, Alex?
Judging by from the real race that we saw here that was run on Monday there after our first rain out of the season, I think a lot of the unknown is going to be expected at first for the first two stages there. We really didn't see these guys get a handle of the race car until that third and final stage. So it's going to take some learning. Just like on a real racetrack when the rain came through and washed away all the rubber that we saw, I think we're going to have a very green racetrack. We're not going to know what to expect until we see the first and second green and white stage flag finishes around this joint. We are now live with our Kozlowski virtual car on the racetrack. Give you guys a taste of what it's like to tame Miles the Monster here. Let's go out and practice. Something I was listening into I tried to listen to some of these races as far as the broadcast before I bring them to you live here. And at Dover, there's more banking on the straightaways than there are on some tracks. I'm talking Richmond, Pocono, Indianapolis. There's more banking on the straightaways here at Dover than in each and every one of those racetracks. And then you got to get through the 33 degrees of banking through the turns before entering a blind corner out of turn 2 and turn 4. That's something these guys are going to have to struggle with all day long.
Yeah, that's not the only thing either. You're talking about a ton of banking, and then think about getting on the apron. You're going around 1 and 2, 3 and 4. If you just hit that gray area below the concrete, you have a pretty messed up car. Tight track. We'll see who can handle it the best.
Trouble spots, usually we mention about maybe turn 1, turn 2 at certain places. Here, Miles the Monster, there is no just one trouble spot. You can find trouble anywhere around this 1-mile racetrack. And something I've mentioned before about those blind corners, how you could be in the gas right here, a problem off of turn 2 or turn 4, you're not going to be able to see it until you're right on the straightaway, and then suddenly you're in it. Yeah,
it's hard to get out of the way here, right? I mean, everything funnels together. And if you're coming off of 2 and there's a wreck in the middle of that backstretch, it's tough to slow your car down and find an exit through all that. We could be seeing a lot of piles.
Self-cleaning racetrack, this has been described as well, where if you get a car hitting to the outside wall, everything naturally gravitates to the bottom of the racetrack. And also, if you have trouble up high, that's where the cars that are going to try and get through, so the track becomes blocked. We've seen a number of pileups happen that way here at Dover, more often than not.
Definitely.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, looks like you're running nice laps here, I gotta say, Alex.
Oh, yeah, trying to. You'll enter the corner around 150, 55 miles an hour. That's a great corner speed. You'll get to about 180 perhaps. I don't know with these guys, the full custom setup, they should be able to hit 180 before diving down low. But yeah, I think the great spot you want to keep the car on, right on the bottom of the racetrack. Let that car swing to the outside and turn out of turn 2 and turn 4 before entering again low on that apron. But something that these guys will have to contend with perhaps. We didn't see it last week, but I think we will see it if the field gets strung out. That's green flag pit stops and entering pit road.
Wow, yeah, all right, now we got AJG.
Woo, I made it.
What's up, buddy?
I don't know if you guys just saw that with the live stream, but
I
slid through,
yeah.
And I was able to get to 35 miles per hour. Something of note, you will go a lap down here under green. That could play a factor into how, if a mid-caution comes out during a green flag pit stops, that could play a factor into who's being trapped a lap down. I will go over the point standings here as of late early in stage 1, but for right now we do have our first invite, so let's go ahead and get started. Oh, it looked like I did get a penalty on that.
Send me one before you join in.
Just so we're clear, but yes, let's we will handle that there. And I want to welcome there AJ into the booth there. AJ, thank you for joining us. He will be providing some drive analysis for us as well.
I'm just loading up the
I'm not sure if I actually have you as... Well, yeah, I do have you as a friend, so let me make sure. Or Nick, were you able to send an invite beforehand, or are you already loaded in?
Oh, I can send him an invite. I got it.
Okay. I just want to make sure because I don't want to... Because I got to go straight in. Let's see. All right, the 1 400 at Dover International Speedway here, folks. Another congratulations in order for the 14 of Smoke Fan. He's been knocking him dead as far as these polls. Can he finish a race, though, without any Wi-Fi connectivity issues? That has seemed to plague that 14 car as of late. And it's a story we will be following throughout the day. An all front row for Stuart Haas Racing, the 41 car, DWH on the outside row as well. The rest of the field beginning to get lined up. Again, two.
No, I think they may have backed out. I saw Cody backed out of
Oh,
that.
yes, it does look like most of everybody dropped out. So this will be another redo. We will pause real quick as we leave this lobby, wait for another invite. I will go ahead and look up the race starting order. You'll get a blue screen here for just a sec. Had happened to myself there. So definitely in real life and in esports, getting onto pit road here at Dover at a grueling 35 miles per hour, that is just treacherous. Getting onto this pit road, one of the hardest pit roads we come to all year long.
Absolutely. When I race at Dover, I usually go on the back stretch, and you know how the apron opens up right when you go into 3 and 4. I usually just go on the apron right there so I don't speed, which I've seen many people do it, especially guys in this lobby, because we run a default, I don't remember how long ago it was, but almost everybody in that lobby was doing it. That way they wouldn't speed on pit road.
Well, it's easy to speed. I think a lot of communication is going to have to go down too.
And the communication, that's definitely going to be correct because these guys aren't all in the same party as well. So you gotta have that spatial awareness around your race car and on the mind of who's going to be ahead of you and who's behind you when you make that pit stop. While we are under this brief pause period before we get to the start of the race, that gives us a chance to go over today's quick race settings. Again, custom difficulty. These guys are all running custom setups. Each and every one of these guys have been working hard on their setup here today. We will see who will be able to tame Miles the Monster here in just a little over an hour and a half. Race length will be 50%, so only 200 miles here. This is a 1-mile racetrack. Tire wear and fuel consumption at times too. The flags on will be on. They'll have yellow and black flags. We already discussed getting on the pit road. Pit road speed is 35 miles an hour. They will have 3 race stages, and they have already qualified Smoke Fan, your Coors Light pole winner here at Dover International Speedway. No damage. Stability will be off as well. Use of custom setups is on in the transmission. All these guys will be running as manual for 200 laps for the Drive for Autism 400, or known here for this esports league, the One in Vine 400 at Dover International Speedway. Nick and AJ, these guys have been practicing all day long. What do you think we'll see at the beginning stages of this race?
I think that there's going to be a lineup. Everybody's just going to get lined up single file because that's how they tend to drive around tracks like this. They're very hard to race at. And it's just going to go from there, because draft's pretty big at this track too. If you lose a draft, it's kind of like Daytona. You're just going to fall off because when they get in a draft, they just improve their lap times by a tenth or two, and that's all it takes. But, yeah, it's going to go single file. That's what I feel like it's going to be.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that, AJG, man. From what I've been seeing with how these guys run, they're real smart. They're real smart drivers. They're gonna feel everything out at first, and maybe later on through the race we'll see some more issues. But single file at the beginning, that's what I'm expecting. You expecting anything different there, Alex?
I believe these guys are going to try and settle in there. Again, we talked about a green racetrack, and we kind of have a green racetrack here. No one's really raced on it. I don't think rubber really plays a build-up, but as far as knowing what your car can do around other race cars, I think that's going to take a little bit for these guys to get adjusted to not only the track, but their competitors around them and see how they work in heavy traffic, because you will find yourself in heavy traffic around with the level of competition we have in this series. I don't think we're going to see anybody break out, much like what we saw last week at Charlotte. Let's go over the starting order for today's race. The 14 and the 41 already starting on the front row. Behind them will be Fluffy and Slade, the 17 and the 21. Just behind that, in row number 3, we'll have the 2-car AJ Storm, who I saw on Twitter said that this was one of his better tracks. So we're going to see if that 2-car can perhaps get to victory lane for the second time this season. Followed by the 3 of Cody, Workman, who we've documented earlier today, or earlier last week, should I say. Thought he had a race car that could win it. Unfortunately, a bump from the 38 car destroyed his chances of putting that 3 car back to victory lane at Charlotte. We'll see if he can get his first W of the season here today. Behind him, Jason Keffer, who will be riding on board and learning from through all of his YouTube streaming service, and we thank him for allowing us to be right on board with him. He starts in the inside of row number 4, followed by the 12-car Big D Destroyer. Rounding out the top 10 will be the 19 and the 9. You have, I believe that's Bags and Pat's Ace, rounding out those top 10 qualifying spots. Just behind them in row 11, last week's winner, Saab, the 38 car, big run of momentum. Can he capitalize on that? Followed by the 8 car Hemrick, a rookie in this lobby. Then we have the 10 of Gallon, the 20. I believe that will be NRG, who is in here tonight. Haven't seen him much at all throughout the series. He did leave a couple of weeks ago. Glad to see him back. And then starting out in the rear will be the 47. That is Rowdy, and the 18 of New World Order, rounding out the top 16 starting positions.
Just make sure, guys, when you get in there, send everybody in the party invite. That way none of us get left out, Just make sure everybody gets.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely.
Sure thing.
We'll make sure. I'm not sure though why we have not gotten it.
I think there was a driver change with that 8 car of Sloppy Joe, I believe.
Yes, I'm sorry, I did not have. I said Hemrick. I didn't know exactly who was driving that 8 car. To be completely honest,
we got someone in that 8 car.
Someone is in that 8 car. We will get that information to you just as soon as it passes along to us. This also allows us to get over the point standings here for the Pocono Raceway Cup Series, and let's give you that. And it is, Sloppy Joe will be in the 8. Slade, the 21 car, is your point season, your first place point season standard right now, followed by the number 6, the BC Racer Kid. In the 3rd position is Bags, 88, JRM Keffer. He's in the 4th. New World Order in the 18th, who did not have the best of day at all at Charlotte. Finished dead last, multiple laps down. Something happened where he had to pull over there in the first stage. Was never able to get back on track, and so that really affected his drop in the point standings. He's now back down to 5th. Fluffy, who also did not complete last week's race at Charlotte, he's fallen to the 6th position. And Gallon, who has that win at Watkins Glen, in 7th. We have Celtics fan, the 11 car, in 8th, coming off a strong 2nd place finish last week. That is the playoff, the outside of the playoff cut line. We have the the 2 car, AJ Storm, who is locked into the playoffs with that win at Kentucky. The 38 of Saab in 10th, also locked in with his win last week at Charlotte. Pat's a Smoke fan who's been locked in since his win at Richmond. Kind of like to compare him to Kyle Larson. Has had a lot of bad luck. Able to break through. Kyle Larson finally got his first top 5 of the season yesterday. Let's see if perhaps real life could imitate fake life and see if Smoke Fan can turn that around. DWH in that 13th position for the points. Diesel in 14th. Angelo, who's not making an appearance tonight, in 15th. 16th, we'll have Big D Destroyer. Rowdy, in the 17th position. C. Workman and Marcus, who's also not in tonight's lineup as well.
Yeah, that's a real nice lineup right there. For the starting grid and the points. It's unfortunate that some of these guys have missed races, because I've been watching a few where they have been able to make it and they've had some strong goings, man. I really got to say. One thing that I was looking at here while we were waiting was, or I believe we may have gotten an invite, but I was looking at the fastest laps at Dover. Smoke Fan.
Oh, no.
I was in qualifying or not, but man, that's a fast lap.
You got invites? Send me one if you don't mind.
No, we've not gotten invites soon. I'm trying to figure out exactly what our holdup is. We are in a holding pattern, but I've just been told 1 minute, and there it is.
All right.
So we'll get you taken care of there, AJ, in just a sec, as well as the rest of these guys here momentarily. And take 2 is about to begin.
While we wait, I do want to just mention a few people that have supported Midnight Broadcasting Network, like Pocono Raceway, Burst Tires, Ronin Imports, Speedway Collective, Travis Braden, Tanner Berryhill, and Wood and Vine. It's great to have so many people on board to help out here, and I know that these guys will put on a good showing for them.
Also, sounds like we do have a driver switch. It's not going to be AJ Storm in that number 2 car. It will be Diesel in the number 2.
All right.
All right, everyone getting into position here. The field is lit up on the backstretch.
We got some Venom guys in the chat. Come out to support us tonight, I guess, huh?
Yo, thanks everyone who is joining in, watches broadcast. You're in for a treat.
I don't believe we'll be going green this time by. Well, we might. I think everyone's still trying to get up in order. Nope, I don't believe.
No, they went green.
Nope, they did. It was very slow. A little bit of a slow restart right there. Didn't see everybody lined up white nicely in that restart box. But the green flag is out. And they're off onto the backstretch. Smoke Fan with a commanding lead so far.
Yeah, very commanding, and that inside line worked out. He was able to bring Fluffy with him.
Week after week.
41 is doing a great job.
We talk about the 14 and the 17. They've had bad luck, but if it weren't for that bad luck, these guys would consistently be in a league of their own.
Oh,
yeah, I agree.
The 17s and 14s, they're two awesome guys too, that fast on the track and they're cool outside of racing, The 17 Fluffy, you look for him to be up there with Smoke Fan. I think he's just putting the car up now.
Yeah, and AJG, man, you hit the nail on the head. If you look from one of these cars in the front and look backwards, you see they're all pretty much single file. I'm following the 2. I saw the 2 get into the wall out of 4, or like in the middle of 3 and 4. Lost the spot, but he regained his speed and doing pretty well there, Diesel.
Riding along with Smoke Fan right now. Oh, we got an issue on the backstretch.
There's a
Couple
wreck
of
in the
cars
back.
involved. One is the 10. The other one, the 2, is already ghosted out. And the 10 of Gallon, the 9 of Pat's Ace bring out the first money line caution of the day. We saw one car get turned. I believe that was a 10 car sideways in the middle of the backstretch. That's those self-cleaning banking on Dover. Everything slid to the inside wall. The 9 car had nowhere to go. He was also involved. The 2 car, Diesel, who was subbing in for AJ Storm, already out of this race, or perhaps on pit road. I do not know if that's the case, but he was already on pit road. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, that'd be pretty unfortunate, you know, filling in for that 2, and then if he did have to, if he had some technical difficulties or not, but, you know, getting a chance like that, and it's unfortunate, but it does happen.
That's him starting in 4th, isn't it? Wait, what?
Looks like the 47 is dropping to the bottom.
It is. The 2 car is back and forth. That was interesting.
All right, good. Yeah.
He might have pitted beforehand and had the benefit of that caution. Oh, the 17 just tagged the wall on the outside. That was Fluffy there, stacking them up in that outside lane. Look how many cars are going to go on the inside because of it. The 2 and the 38 able to get around him, dropping him back down to 5th.
Yeah, these guys going too wide.
Yeah, Dover's one of those tracks, man, where if you hit that wall, you're going to lose a bunch of momentum and it opens up a lane. And it's just, that lane gets open, it's like a train. It's coming through, you're going to have to wait for a bunch of them to go by.
Something
like
happened to the 38.
Had some issues.
Exactly there. He was running along in the 4th position, side by side with Fluffy there. Had to drop all the way outside of the top 10. Gathers it up, but we stay under the green flag.
It's hard to get that momentum on the top. It looked like the 18 had a good run on the entrance of 1, but getting out of 2, that bottom line, that 21 car, he really got to hold it.
As it looks like the 14 and 2 are checked out in the field. 2 was looking on the inside of the 14, but he couldn't quite get going into 1. But he can get a good run out of turn 2, my guy.
Talk about a blessing for that 2 car. He was on pit road when that caution happened, able to not go a lap down and then stay ahead of all those guys that ended up deciding to pit underneath that first money line caution flag. So he has been able to rebound nicely all the way up, pressuring the 14 car for the lead and taking a look underneath in turn 2.
Yeah, it looks like that 14 may be a little tight right now. I don't know if he may be looking in his mirror, may not be getting his marks, but caution on track.
Don't know for what, but it is our second money line caution of the day.
Yeah, the 38, the 10, the 9.
That is interesting.
And another car.
Take a look at this, folks. Look at this. The 2 cars on pit road. He is on pit road, and I'm not sure. So maybe that's another 2 car? Is that what that is?
Yeah, I think that's what that is. Yeah.
All right. We've solved it. I knew something was out of the ordinary. I don't know who that is, but we only had 15 cars on the track because we restarted. Bags was on the tail end of that restart for the first caution, and I noticed we had a car missing. We had 16 cars, and yep, that's what it looks like. It must be. So my apologies. I'm glad we were able to solve that without wondering how on earth he could be in 2 places at once. But Diesel up front in the 17 car, lead them down. We have cleared the racetrack. We're back to racing here at Dover.
Diesel's got a fast car, man. I think he had a pit strategy different than other people, and it was a little faster.
Yeah, and having that inside line definitely helps too.
We did see some, right there in the wall, middle of the corner, Gallon tagged off the 14. Possible teammates making contact there. In the wall hard, it's the 20 of NRG as well. Big crash on the back, on the front stretch, 38. Also involved.
And caution will come out.
So this is kind of going against what we expected, huh? Maybe they just need to get used to racing around each other and figure out the lines, figure out your entry speed, when to lift, when to get on it, where others, get to run. But this track is narrow. There's not much room to go, and it's loose. It's loose off those corners.
Yeah, if you want a fast setup, you're going to be coming sideways out of turns. You gotta set the car perfect for this track. Some people in this race, they know how to do it, like 19 and 17 and the 14. I know them three. They probably know how to set up a car really well.
Well, Miles the Monster is always hungry here at Dover, and I always say you can substitute the menu for the roster here. It's not a question of if, but when one of these cars will have trouble. Possible issues with the 14 as far as lagging. I did see some lagging up front from that 14 car, and I believe that was what sent that 10 car wide. It's an issue that has plagued Smoke Fan before. We'll see if that once again plays into the hands of another caution here, our third of the day, if it does come out. Look like he's fine right now, but I did want to put that on the record that I did see the 14 car lagging there and get into the 10, his teammate. Back up front, it is now the 2 car now. Diesel in front of the 17 of Fluffy. In the 14 to Smoke Fan. Nose to tail, off the corner. You see the 14 look on the inside. Down to turn number 3. And single file once again.
And the 2 car goes a little wide there. That's actually AJ Storm. He was able to make the race.
See, I don't know who is who anymore. In that 2 car.
Well, thanks to JRM Kepler here, able to watch his stream as well, and kind of get a rundown of the roster and the laps that they're at. Looks like they're on lap 23, going to 24.
And how many laps to go in stage 1? You said it was 51.
Let's see right. I gotta make this a little bigger. Hard to see. 36 laps to go in stage 1.
Awesome. I do believe these guys can make it at about 30 laps of fuel with times 2. Or the 40, I am not quite sure. We will get that information to you the next time a caution comes out and we're able to see what these guys can hold as far as tire and fuel window for this race. AJ looked like he did have a moment though, and it's a good thing you saw him when he did, because right now he's going to be outside of JRM Keffer's view. He is right now riding along in the 7th spot, just behind the 21, our point leader right now.
Well, it looks like
he's got a battle for the lead.
He's having a tough time. He got in the wall coming out of 2 in the lead, and like I said, man, if that one go under you, there's going to be more than one going.
Oh, yeah. Losing 6 spots like that?
Yeah, he just lost just one mess up.
We do have a pass for the lead there. The 14 of Smoke Fan able to get underneath the 17 of Fluffy. And that Rouse Finway Ford, he now is battling the 88 car, who has had a well of a resurgence out of that camp. So you see a car, caution, 3rd one of the day. We did see some car, I don't know who's hit the inside wall.
The 20 looked a little slow there, and could have been something going on with the 20 and 41 car.
EWH, who did start on the outside pole, way in the back now. What's the fuel?
Full 2 cans would be 38.
38
right
laps,
now they're
awesome.
looking at 30 if they don't pit. So maybe strategy is gonna play a factor soon here. See some guys do some different stuff.
And this is one of these racetracks where we haven't talked about much about like tire wear adjustments, but you can, if you only have perhaps 15, 20 laps on there, you can theoretically take 2 tires, jack up that wedge, and be okay for a short run to the finish. Do we see that here late in this race?
I would love to see it.
We're cleaning up our 3rd Service Master Clean caution of the day. It's not been all clean and green. Miles the Monster has had an appetite early in stage 1. Now into turn number 1, Smoke Fan and Fluffy lead them down. The rest of the field behind them as they're off into turn 2. Oh, little bit of a lag issues and big crash coming out of turn 2. You see the 19 of Bags, the 88, JRM Keffer, 1 car upside down, barrel rolling down the backstretch. Caution.
See, It's kind of like how I mentioned before. Everything funnels up when they start to wreck like that. I was watching the 19. He had nowhere to go. He didn't have time to really react. These guys are going so fast.
And that's the problem here at Dover. There is no time to react to something that's happening ahead of you. How many times have we seen, just like in real life, a car spins in turn 2, people that are running along in turn 1 have no idea, they slam into the wreck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that apron, man, it's tough. It just took out the 88, and there was nowhere to go for anybody else.
He was running along, and I believe the 3rd position bag's just right behind him. They were both well inside the top 5. Now they're going to have their work cut out in order to try and salvage some stage points out of this one.
I like seeing the 18 car up where he is. He started in last, and he's made moves.
We'll ride along with him for this restart.
Who's in the 18 car?
New World Order.
New World Order.
Oh, that's New World Order. He put up a good run so far.
Oh, in the wall, the 19 of bags again.
He didn't take the 88.
Oh, the 38 spinning. Right in front of the field. Hits the inside wall, and we're going to have a crash because of it in turn number 3. Excuse me, out of turn 4. Caution is going to come out. Don't know what set the 38 on the apron. New World Order did survive that.
Yep. He's starting 5th. Couldn't ask for anything better than that, starting in the rear. Yeah,
smart moves, trying to stay out of trouble, being cautious. That's kind of my mentality in races like this. I don't see anyone pitting. Everyone's pretty much on the same strategy so far. I haven't seen any changes due to pit road. They're all kind of staying in line when the caution comes out.
And they should be able to make it to the end of stage 1. So right now it's kind of what you have is what you got. And can you survive being in the eye of the storm, which seems to be 2nd place on back?
Yeah, track position's key right now.
As the 17 of Fluffy, he's starting inside 1st row.
Looking up from high above the Goodyear blimp. See the 9 of Pat's Ace right on the bottom. The 2 car struggling on the outside line. Now gets a push from the 21 car, and this is a unique angle around this racetrack as you see the 9 of Pat's Ace have a moment there. He had to get out of the gas. You see the 17 just decelerate in the middle of the corner, able to drive away. And that 2 car is hanging tough on the outside. He'll clear the 9.
20 gets into someone on the front stretch, and the 12's wrecking in 1.
Caution.
Caution's out.
Another caution on the track. I was watching that 18. I'm going to be following him mostly just because maybe he had a bad qualifying or not, but that lap that he held it on the bottom. He had someone on his outside, but his car looked good down there. And he was very cautious when he saw Pat's Ace in the 9 have a little issue. Saw him lift a bit, and smart, very smart.
Guys, I hate to say it, but it seems like we're running under a rash of yellow fever right now. Not what the doctor has ordered here at Dover International Speedway. These guys have not been able to consistently get a green lap in since really lap 12.
Yeah, no, it's been tough. We haven't seen many, and it's too bad Monster, or Miles the Monster, didn't go to Wood and Vine down in Charlotte before the race to settle his appetite there.
Guys, I do want to mention out as we get the green flag back in, unfortunately our pole sitter is out. The 14 of Smoke Fan not going to be a factor once again. And another PRCS race here for Midnight Broadcasting Network. Tough break for that 14 crew.
It really is. It seemed like he put a lot of practice in on this.
That 2 car, he's back.
He's back. AJ's making moves.
I haven't seen his confidence peak this high since Kentucky. And that was somewhat of an
21.
Unexpected win. But right now, he said he had something for him today.
These guys are running pretty smart up front now. It's good to see 18, a little bobble coming out of 4.
Yeah, so it's a
he's
20.
able to stay off 41.
Both Joe Gibbs Racing Machines having issues as we see a battle for position. A little bit of lag out of the 41 as the 8 car trying to muscle around on the outside there. 41, ooh, just touched the apron right there. Oh, he's back across the track in the nose of the 12 car. Up the racetrack, everyone has to get through. DW8 keeps it on the wall. And you saw all unfold live right there. Just a single car incident there, but he'll lose a ton of time to the leaders.
And correction there, the 8, not the 18. But yeah, that was something to see.
As the 2 and the 17 and top 5 look like they just about to check out on the field. They're staying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just filing in single file line, holding each other's draft.
Chevy and Ford representing that top 5. The first Toyota in this race right now, I believe, would be, let's actually go back because we'd have to go all the way to outside. Ooh, he's hanging on. It's the 19 car who did win this race here on Monday.
Well, let's see if he could get another one out here tonight.
Fluffy now trying to put a little bit of a gap between him and the 2 car of AJ Storm, who has a mirror full of the 9 of Pat's Ace, having an excellent run with that Chase Elliott paint scheme. Meanwhile, our pole sitter right behind him, the 21 car on his nose. And bringing up that rear, the 88 car, who I was trying to mention before another caution came out, but the 88, Alex Bowman, 2 back-to-back second-place finishes, tying his best result ever in the Monster Energy Cup Series. A win is not far away for that team.
Yeah, and we're coming to 10 to go here in this first stage. And that 9 car, he was on the bumper of the 21 out of 4, and then in 1, I think he went a little too strong. I'm sorry, the 2 car. He went a little too strong, lost 2 positions from it.
As the 21, looks like he's lurking in the 2 cars mirror. Looks like Fluffy's just got a little bit of extra run off of one of these corners on 2nd, 3rd, and 4th and 5th. And he's just pulling away slowly but surely. But as I say that, AJ Storm starts to back up a little bit.
Nick, you're driving the 17 car. You're commanding this race lead. What are you doing inside the race car? And to combat that, AJ, you're in 2nd place right now trying to get to the back end of the 17 car. What are you doing inside the race car? Nick, you go first.
So, me in the lead at this track, you really have to hit your marks. I'm going to try and stay out of my mirror, not pay attention to him, keep my eyes forward, try to hit my marks, stay down there, don't get loose off corner. There's a lot of pressure. It's stressful being in the lead. How are you getting around me, AJ?
2nd place, man. At this track, everybody's in this lobby as fast. You know, I'm just waiting for you to make a mistake. The first mistake you make, I'm going to capitalize on it.
That would be my mentality as well.
That is smart. So it's not always, for lack of better term, balls to the wall here racing at Dover here. You're trying to simply just hang on, and if your competitor makes a mistake, you want to be the first car to capitalize on it.
And
oh yeah, that's what this track is about.
You hit the nail on the head again, man, because look at that top 5. I was waiting to see if anyone on 6th on deck was going to start to reel him in, but not really seeing that.
It looks like AJ Storm is a little better in 3 and 4 than Fluffy is, but 1 and 2, Fluffy's just got the run on him.
He's definitely able to pull exit out of the corner there. That's where we're seeing that gap. It isn't really until in the middle of the corner and perhaps entering that AJ, he's just trying to use all of his race car right there, trying to sucker in, but I think that's also hurting him on exit there. He's not able to get or run off the corner, and that could be stacking up. Oh, in the wall! The 21 and the 2 make contact because of it.
88
21.
Smart went on the inside a bit. See if he can pick up a spot here as they come to 3 to go.
That's going to hurt the chances of the 21 car. It put him on the outside wall, or excuse me, the outside lane, and I believe the inside is where you want to be.
That 88, man, he, like I was saying, make one mistake and he capitalized on it. He's seen it and he dove to the inside, and that's all you need. Fast cars here, you can wait on them to mess up.
Pit road is closed.
And another thing that's impressive too, that is, you know, when you're on the inside on either the front stretch or the back stretch, you can't really get that angle in. So these guys are doing a great job driving in there, staying down, and not plowing up the track into the guy on your outside.
One lap to go for
21
Fluffy.
falls 2 spots.
Yeah, he did, because the 88 was able to get through him and his teammate was able to hang on, Pat's ace. But right now, that gap now very sizable between first and second, and he'll be awarded with a playoff point because of it. The 17 car, Fluffy, is getting to the start-finish line now. Is that the end of the stage or the one more lap?
No, we got one more here.
One more to go. Two-car needs to do what he can to get around. Oh, he made a move to the outside. Here comes Keffer on the inside. Oh, AJ is going to lose 2-3 positions because of it. At the stripe, Fluffy just survives and will get the playoff point. For second place, it is Keffer ahead of his teammate, the 9 of Chase Elliott. Looked like the 2-car made a mistake and lost 3 points because of it. He'll fall all the way to 5th because of it. In the 21 of Slade, able to get around the 2-car right at the end there at the start-finish line for 4th.
Well, man,
yeah,
like
I gotta
said,
say. Yeah.
All it takes.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. One mistake can really change that finishing order, that stage, and it really did. One thing that I saw that I was almost biting my nails at was coming into 3 and 4. The 9 was really pushing it, and he could have lost those 2 spots again, but he regained it, and that was impressive.
Has anyone swept all 3 stages in this series this season yet?
You know, that's a great statistic. I would love to look back at that, and we probably could see that if we kept track. But I don't believe so. From the races I've covered, I believe it's been at least 2 different stage winners. We have had people win, stage and a race. Green flag is back out. Another less than 50 laps to settle stage 2 here at Dover. We're side by side, and the action is on. Oh, in the wall, AJ Storm, big hit to the inside wall.
All by himself, looks like we're going to keep it green. It kind of looks like his car's at maybe the, what car is that, 12? The 38?
You talking about the
88? I believe so. Was that the 38? Looked like he was kind of in the middle of the track. Yeah, oh man.
47 is in front of him. In front of that 47, they got the 12.
We're running along with the 19 of Bags, who is in a hornet's nest right now. You see them stack up a little bit. He had to check up. Someone did not get off the corner well in front of him, and you saw what it did. The 18 New World Order gets out of his way. Teammate orders perhaps right there happening. The 21 car tries to break out of that pack. Side-by-side battle is between Cody and that 8, or excuse me, is that the 8 or is that the 3 in 4th?
The 8 is going on the inside of the 88.
So it is Diesel right there in the front of Keffer. That is the first side-by-side battle for 5th place.
Oh, and the 17 got on the apron a little bit in 3, but he did a good job keeping it clean. He's got that 9 kind of breathing down his neck. 21's not making up too much room, but he's still there as he goes a little wide, 1 and 2.
And I'm sorry, that's Sloppy Joe in the 8 car. I believe I said Diesel before. I misspoke right there. I want to correct myself right there. But Sloppy Joe having a great run so far inside the top 5. Ooh, had his hands full out of turn 4 right there. You saw the 88. Didn't know exactly which way to go. Guys, as drivers, as we have a look for the lead up front, looks like the 9 of Pat's ace. Let's actually go back to that battle. We'll follow it from the onboard of the 21 car. Look at Pat's ace. Look underneath Fluffy. This is a challenge for the lead, and our first lead change under green for stage 2.
Oh, he didn't clear him.
Not yet. It's not over. Ford's working on the outside.
That Slade could capitalize on this right here. Another thing you can do is pass. If somebody's getting past in front of you, all you got to do is get on that guy's number.
Almost reminds me of Bristol, how Bristol used to be back in the olden days, how there was only one line and how you would have to bump somebody out, and if you were stuck on that outside line, it was a long way to try and get back up to the downstairs, back to the bottom of the racetrack there. That's what I'm kind of being reminded. Oh, trouble! Turn number 2, the 8, Sloppy Joe goes around, and more contact in the back of the pack. Let's see who it is, the 12 car. Oh, big hit, 2 Penske cars, nose to tail.
And caution. Another caution. So one thing I saw there, that 21 on the inside of the 1721 of Slade, He had a tight race car. He had to lift in 1 and 2, and that kind of killed his momentum. It's going to be tough to get around Fluffy.
Yeah, this track, man, Fluffy's one of the hardest guys to pass. And with this caution coming out, that's going to help AJ Storm get back. He had a fast car on the short run. As the
our 6th caution of the day, and it is for a multi-car incident, the first out of turn 2 here. If you had to pick a trouble spot, I would pick that spot, because so often we're side by side. Some car up in the front perhaps gets on the apron, gets out of the groove and hits the wall. You're bounced right back into traffic, and that's where we're going to see the big wreck and Miles take his lunch. But it was the 8 car that I believe just got on the apron right there, Sloppy Joe, and spun, and unfortunately the guys behind him could not react fast enough. That is what triggered that caution in the middle of turn 2. Green flag is back out, and Pat Ace, your leader, side by side, 2 forward, Slade and Fluffy down the back stretch.
Yeah, that 9, he didn't have the best of restarts right there, as the 17 had about half a car length on him, but that inside line really prevailed for him.
Oh, the 19 got out of the groove and in the wall, hard. 1 car behind. Don't know who that was. I believe that was a 2. No, it was not the 2. Excuse me, there was one. Oh, we got another stack up.
The 47.
Oh, what a big crash in turn number 3. You saw the 10 car nose in, head on into the outside wall. You're riding along with 18.
AJ Storm even more. He's running 7th place now. That's going to stick him on the 4th row inside.
Yes, so that last caution, they all stayed on the same strategy. Got another caution real quick. Let's see if anyone switches it up.
Excuse me right there. I almost lost my mic for a second. Was trying to look up some more information. Dates back to some of the history back here at the racetrack. We don't often talk about release drivers. We do have some release drivers here in this race. But back in 1975, there was a driver, I believe Rick May, who started the race here, had his car not finished, and was a release driver for many guys around this racetrack. Ended up driving 5 cars in that race, and he still didn't finish. Dover is tough on cars and competitors. Can you imagine driving 5 different race cars from... Oh, in the wall! Hard, Fluffy! Oh, my goodness, it's going to take out the 19, the 20, the 47, and others.
Man, I don't know about your screen, but that 17 is still flipping around. Wow. That was a tough hit.
The big one. Perhaps the main course just being served to Miles the Monster there.
Hopefully that's his dinner and he's done with eating up the cars.
Oh, I don't think so. This guy reminds me of Lord of the Rings. Yes, that was first dinner, but we had second dinner.
Don't forget about dessert.
Oh, gosh. I might be out of here by that. Check, please.
Check. Oh, that was good. Good. Yeah, it looks like from what I can see, JRM in the 88 and 13th, almost half the field pitted as he's starting 16th now, or 14th.
Well, that last caution proved that no one is Superman here. It can happen to the best. Fluffy, who's led the most laps so far, so much today, in the wall, and most of the field with him. Oh, another stack up. Man, Big D Destroyer tried to save it. He sandwiched the 17th car in a pileup on the backstretch. The 20, the 8, the 47, and the 19 all fall victim to that pileup.
Yeah, I would have really liked to see how that went, because that 21 car, Slade, was getting on the inside of Pat's Ace and the 9. I'd really like to see how that was going to run out.
And starting to mirror what we saw in stage 1, another rash of yellow fever taking place here at Dover. Number of yellow flags as of late. What's needed to kind of break this spell as a driver? What are you guys thinking about in the race car? What's going through your mind right now with these raster yellow flags? Because that's got to be a little bit frustrating. You can't find a rhythm, and Dover is a rhythm racetrack.
Oh yeah, Dover's one of those racetracks where if you don't find the rhythm, you ain't gonna get one if you're racing in a pack of people, you know. And yellow flags, they're just not helping at all when it comes to that.
Yeah, I think my frustration would be a little high, not being able to get to run my car if I spent a lot of time on it. Looks like they're about halfway through. They've got 33 laps to go in stage 2 right now, and I'd want this to run kind of green. See how my car's going to be.
They won't need to go down pit road, at least under green, for the end of the stage. Again, reminder that a full tank window, a fuel window here, 38 laps. Oh, the 41 on the apron! Look what it does to the rest of the field. Yellow flag.
Man, them people that bought them bridge tickets to this race for free, they got their penny worth.
Well, the way that these cars have been flipping around, I don't know if I'd be on one of those bridges.
Yep, DWH, who had tried to rebound there, was fighting for third on the inside, got caught on the apron, and a broken record. We fall under the yellow flag once again here at Dover.
You know, one thing that I was really hoping to see, because we were coming to what I think 33 to go last I mentioned. You said 38 laps fuel. My experience with my tires, once they get kind of low, this car really changes. You know, I lose a lot of time. Not sure if these guys are going through the same thing or if they've really honed it in, but love to see it.
You know, we don't often talk about that just from a fan perspective, perhaps by somebody who's just watching this at home, and how tire wear does play a factor. How does the car change over a race run here at Dover? What's it doing on fresher tires versus what it's not doing once we get a couple of green flag laps under our belt?
Well, for me, my car gets tight, and it's hard to get.
Oh, we got a crash there, Nick. Sorry about that. The 19 and the 2. Big crash on the backstretch. The 88. 47 almost on his side. The 9 to Pat Face, the 10 a gallon. I will list to you guys the guys that were not involved. Oh, look. I don't have it.
Well, it looks like Big Destroyer's in 4th. We haven't really mentioned him too much. Our boy Sloppy Joe, who's covering in that 8 in 5th. Let's see if they can hold those spots. The Fluffy's down in 8th with Pat's Ace right in front of him. The two guys that have really been up front. See if they can make their way.
All right, the money line caution for the upteenth time today here. Unfortunately, I've actually lost count, and we have not gotten exactly to halfway. Right now, it is the 21 of Slade, your point leader, continuing to stay up front. But the Hornet's Nest that's been behind him really has been third place on back. You see the 47 car dive to the inside, out of harm's way for now.
Fun fact here, the front stretch and back stretch are the exact same length in feet at 1,076 feet.
Oh, I love it.
Dover is a fun race to watch. I know there were some hurt feelings perhaps after the race here on Monday, and that might have had to do with Mother Nature, but also some of the drivers complaining about the race package and how they felt like it just wasn't. Kyle Busch, who was very, very emotional about it, but Kevin Harvick also echoing his thoughts, just didn't like the race package. What did you guys think about Monday's race here at Dover?
I liked it. I mean, it was a big lead, not many cars on the lead lap, but, you know, maybe some of these guys are a little hurt because they didn't have the package.
Got a spin, turn number 3, the 88, spin. The 38, and the 9. Caution.
I really liked seeing the 18. He was having a few issues losing momentum, getting into the outside wall with guys on the inside of him, but he really didn't lose too much ground. That was pretty cool. Good job, New World Order. So we see the 20 who's going to take 4th here.
Yeah,
So we've got
NRG
22
making a
laps to go
surprise
right
start
now.
here today. Haven't talked much about him at all. He was involved in a couple of issues earlier in the race in stage 1, but has been able to survive the latest carnage here at Dover, and now running along in the 4th position. Not a bad day for NRG in that 20 car.
Yep, and now we see the 21. I wonder how long Slade's going to be able to hold this lead. I know when he was on the inside, he looked a little tight, but when he's got open ground, I wonder if his car is going to react a little different.
Man, if that 9 car would win, it'd sure bring some vein to midnight gaming, huh? Get us a couple fans out there.
Oh, yeah.
Chase Elliott, NASCAR's most popular driver, won this race back in the fall of 2018. And Pat Ace put that 9 car, he started on the pole on Monday, back to victory lane.
How many we got to go on the stage?
Looks like 18 or 17 when they come to the line, I believe.
Well, man, Fluffy was hungry ever since he left that lead, man.
I was just about to say that there, AJ. You took the scorecard right out of my mouth. You see a little bit of a bobble in turn 2, but I think we're going to stay green. But do you hear that music? It kind of goes like, dun-dun, dun-dun. That's the 17 car, and it's in 3rd place.
Yeah, he's working his way back up.
Oh, yeah, man. He's got a fast car, and I know he's just got to wait on them guys to make a mistake. 18 laps to win the stage. He's got himself in a good spot. All he's got to do is just take them mistakes.
Well, and Fluffy's been so good here, I don't necessarily think he has to wait for someone to make a mistake. I think he could actually just go up and take it.
This should be 15 to go right there in stage 2.
He's caught them pretty quick.
Yeah. Let's
Front
see if
3.
this could go green or if they're going to get hungry.
Have a good green flag. Look to it.
17 into the wall, lost some momentum.
Yeah, it looked like the 8 car perhaps just hooked bumpers right there. But that's also, it doesn't always fall on the guy that you're, trying to get around. Sometimes it's the guy that's behind you. If you're on his back bumper and he makes a mistake, you can put yourself in that position as well. Oh, he hit the wall again.
Ooh, it's Fluffy gets in the wall.
Let's ride along from the Goodyear blimp.
Forward 17. He just looks like he's got a better car. Well, as I say that, he gets from the apron, but I was about to say he's got a good car at hugging the apron. He doesn't really want to walk the track too much on him.
And behind them, the 20 went up the track, opened the door for the 12 to come through, and the 2 saying, "Thanks for holding that door open for me, buddy. I'm going with you."
Yeah, the 20 car who was running along in 4th position now barely hanging on to inside the top 10 as we have a pass for the lead. Look at the 8 car, Sloppy Joe taking a look on the inside. 21 goes wide, out of the groove, has to get out of the gas, and that's going to allow that inside run by the 8 car to take effect. Sloppy Joe looking for 1st place in turn 3.
Yeah, look at that relief driver go.
He's just lurking in the shadows.
He'll complete the pass, and he'll try to shut the door on the 21 who pulled over a crossover move. Let's see his exit out of turn 2. He does. He clears the 21 car, moves the 8 car, Daniel Hemrick, to the point.
Yeah, Sloppy Joe being a relief driver, the pressure's on. He may not have had as much time to prepare for this race, but working his way up to 1st like that is impressive. Hey, AJ, if you're the 21, what do you think you want to do to your car next stage break here?
Well, it looks like he's a little loose off the exit, and I'd probably drop the wedge a little bit, or no, pick the wedge up, my bad. Probably like a click or 2, and probably forward the air pressures, to not be too far off.
Oh, the 8 car made a mistake,
misses
misses the corner, washes up the racetrack, and look who capitalizes it, the 21, but under pressure from the 17. Wow, 3 spots in 1 turn for the 8 car.
Right now.
Oh yeah, let's hope he can keep that thing on the bottom, because we saw him wash up a bit. And things aren't like they were before, like you mentioned, where the top 5 were kind of an island of their own. We've got a line of cars. If you make a little mistake, you can lose more than 2 or 3 spots.
What we're also seeing, though, you might have some help on that outside line. If you get another car perhaps behind you, you might be able to stay competitively at least in favor to try and save your own skin. But right now, a man who's on a mission,
17.
Fluffy to the point underneath, and he's bringing help with him.
Yeah, I think that's.
Oh, in the wall, the 21. Here comes the 12.
Takes the 2.
Oh, the 2 and the 21 make contact.
21 and the 2.
Oh,
That's
Penske cars, 3 wide and a problem. 21 a Slade, all the way to the back of the pack.
Oh, Lord. It looks like the 9 is stopped in 3 and 4 when I was looking on Cody's, or not Cody's, I'm sorry, JRM's there, but I believe they just hit 6 to go, and they're coming to 5 to go now in stage 2.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wow, all 3 Penske cars there. You had the 2 and the 12 and the Penske affiliated car, the 21. All were 3 wide there. They all made contact, and Roger Penske almost got sent to an early grave right there. They were able to make it through, though.
Yeah, you don't need that on your heart.
Especially with the Indy 500 coming up. My goodness.
Oh,
They're coming to 4 to go.
4 to go.
Man, Fluffy, let's recap his race. He is leading right now. He was leading at the end of stage 1, but Nick, he didn't start that way early in stage 2.
No, he didn't. The way he worked his way up, he was able to thread the needle, get around guys who, like AJG, you said, you wait for someone to have a mistake, you capitalize. I think he's doing all that.
Oh yeah, he's using everything possible. And man, he's got out front. He's been on a rain of terror, just pulling second from the field.
Coming to 2 to go this time by, and pit road will be closed. 8 of Sloppy Joe, who had that miscue in turn 1, able to rebound there for second place as a relief driver. Here's some trivia for you guys. Who was the last relief driver to win a Monster Energy Cup Series race? Do you guys know?
I'm gonna say. I actually don't know, but I'm gonna go with a wild guess of Dale Earnhardt Jr.
No.
I'm gonna say Jamie McMurray.
It was Jamie McMurray for Sterling Marlin back in 2002, the UAW 500 at Charlotte.
That long ago. I was going for a long shot. That was the only one I can really think of. But all right.
1 to go. Coming out of 4.
Actually, this should be for the stage.
No, this is it.
Second flag.
This is
Yeah, this is it. As Fluffy
And
will
that
have a chance
18.
to sweep the stages.
The 18 put a lot of pressure on the 8, and wow, I gotta say, Sloppy Joe did a great job of not being sloppy coming out of 4 there to keep second.
Another precious playoff point awarded to the 17 car, who's been stacking them up. However, can he finish this race and be the first competitor to win all 3 stages here in the PRCS series for the Midnight Broadcasting Network?
See, look at what you started there, AJ. You know, you mentioned, hey, have they had it? Hey, good chance of it happening tonight with the way the Fluffy's been driving in that 17.
Don't want to speak too soon though, because it is Dover, and all it takes is one mistake.
It really does.
Just past halfway here, the Woodinvine 400. The action has been fast and furious. We've had a rash of early yellow flags in both stages. We'll see if stage 3 will follow suit as the field gets through the Geico restart zone. Stage 3 is underway. Can Fluffy hang on for another 70-plus laps at Dover?
Fluffy's got some good gearing in that car. Whether he's on the inside or the outside, he's going. Oh, no, you're good.
Man, but Sloppy Joe not giving up, and he takes to the inside. Fluffy actually left a lot of room on the inside, and look who's trying to take advantage of that 8 car. Now help from the 2. Oh, the 2 and the 18 make contact. The 2 way wide off the corner, the back end of that race car. 3 wide. 19 of bags. Gets on the apron. Has to get out of it.
Wow.
So
much action.
Holds the outside.
Oh, no. We were riding along with Bags when that happened there. A tip of a hat. I don't think he wanted to do that. Kind of was forced that way after the 2 and the 18 made contact. That set them into a 3 wide position. He was already on the apron. We'll see if Bags can get back up to the front.
You know, that pass for the lead, that started into turn 1. I saw the 8 have to check up a bit. Maybe he thought he was going to get a little tight, go up into Fluffy, and Fluffy just held that momentum on the outside. As the 2 is going on the inside of the 8. Opens the door
And
for the
that's two.
12.
He's got a fast car. He might be looking to ruin that
Oh.
run for.
The 8 and Big D made contact right there. And the 8 had to force a hold, got inside in front of the 18 of Kyle Busch. That's New World Order. And now Hemrick trying to block that 18 car from advancing. 2 Penske cars right now follow behind, 3 Fords. The 17 trying to check out.
Yeah, that 18 car, he's really, New World Order is really being cautious and courteous right now.
He did, and he lost all his run, and he actually got the bumper to the back end of the 17 car. The 2, AJ Storm, back to the point, pushed by Big D Destroyer in that 12. Penske running 1-2.
Here comes the choo-choo train.
Oh, contact of 17 in the 8.
I think a lot of these guys
up a little bit. 12 goes for the inside.
Oh my gosh, they could have went 3 wide there if Fluffy really had it on the outside.
It is a revolving door for the lead right now. It was the 17 car, it was the 8, now the 2, and perhaps the 12, all in one lap. Here comes Big D Destroyer to the inside. He's bringing along the 18 of Kyle Busch. Oh, on the apron, the 12.
Oh.
Slips. Now that outside line prevails, and the 2 and the 17 try to get away as the 12 car has to gather up his thoughts and get going in the right direction.
The 8 going to the bottom. Smart move by him.
Ooh, the 8 and the 12 nose to one another. So much action. We're riding along with the 18 car who's been in the thick of things everywhere on this racetrack.
Look who's going for 5th. It's Slade again. Nice run by Slade.
And that 2 car, he just had he had up and down night. He was in the lead at the beginning, running with Fluffy, and then fortunately got caught up in a wreck. Now he's back.
Here comes New World Order challenging the 17 car. Fluffy looking underneath 17, slams the door on the 18, gets back to the bottom of the racetrack. The 18 actually had to get out of the gas. He'll lose a couple of spots of momentum, right there, as he falls back into the clutches of the 8 car. And as you mentioned there, Nick and AJ, here comes the 21, rebounding nicely in 5th. He lost out on some precious points there. He could have been inside the top 5 that last stage.
You know, I'm riding along with the 8, and coming out of 4, when the 18 was up top of it, I heard him back out of the gas. He was like, I don't really feel comfortable. Maybe he doesn't feel comfortable right now going into 1 on the inside, but he's
contact,
doing it.
The leaders are into it! Oh, 3 wide and a problem again! The 18
they're going to keep him
gets through it!
Clean, boys.
The 17 car does not!
It is tough. It is tough to keep it clean like that. I don't think the 8
Someone tugged on Superman's cape a little too hard right there. The 17 car was on the apron, unfortunately got into the side of the 2. They were both running 1-2. The rest of the field became a victim to that incident.
Yeah, and we got 68 to go under this caution right now, and so they're going to definitely have to pit one more time. But I imagine they'll be pitting more. I see some more cautions happening.
Well,
yeah, it's going to wind down, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be even more hectic than it is now because everybody's going to want that win. And you know that 17, you just got bumped towards the rear.
And that was a hectic green flag start. That was actually our first caution of the stage, and everybody, 5th place on back, had a chance at the lead right there. We're 68 laps away from the finish. It just goes to show how much track position is key here at Dover. Up front, it's the 8 and the 18. Can Sloppy Joe get the first win for a relief driver since 2002 in the Monster Energy Cup Series?
Well, like I said, man,
I think so.
Yeah, he does got a good car, but man, they got that green flag running, and they didn't know.
Oh, the 18 looked like he had a problem right in the middle of turn 3 and 4.
Slade dropped back to the rear. He got caught up in a wreck right there. At the stage,
18 was battling the 8 car for the lead when that problem happened.
38 in the wall, kind of checks up the field towards the back, but everyone's staying clean.
Man, the 21 of Slade has had a yo-yo day. He's been inside the top 5. He's been outside of the top 10. He's been inside the top 3. He's been outside of the top 15. My goodness, can this 21 car catch a break?
You know what I've started to realize, man? Fluffy has thought his passing situation out. He's made most of his passes on the outside because it's hard to keep the momentum going when you got a guy right up above you. And this track is all about momentum. You got to keep it up in those positions.
He's in the 6th position. He's in striking distance. Got a car on the apron, the 47 car. Everyone goes on the outside of him. Meanwhile, most of the field nose to tail with a couple of new players up front. The 12 car, Big D Destroyer, and DWH in that 41. He's having a good day. Man, that 8 car, I've noticed the 8 car just doesn't seem to be able, if he's not on the bottom of the racetrack, he gets into that middle groove right there. He really pays for it. And you saw him lose the lead to Big D Destroyer because of it, because he was not able. Oh, a crossover move. He's looking to the inside. 12 car slammed the door.
41. DWH.
Yeah, DWH hasn't been up front much tonight, but he's making moves when it's going to count. As the 19's up the track, the 9 gets under him. Here comes Fluffy.
He started on the outside pole, the 41 car.
I'm telling you, you better watch out for him too, because he's got a fast car.
Real life kind of imitates fake life. The 41 car, Daniel Flores, this is statistically his best track. He did finish here 2nd. He finished both races last year inside the top 5. 3 wide and a problem. Oh. The 41 and the 8 car, Sloppy Joe, after contact with the 2. Both cars go around in turn 1. No caution.
That's just the 12 of Big D, isn't that? The Big D is number 12.
Oh, no, but that was off the bumper of the 2. It looked like the 8 car was 3 wide. The 2 car, though, had a chance of perhaps getting out of the gas. He decided it was go time, and unfortunately, the 8 and the 41 are going to play victim to that. Not putting that all on the 2 car, but it was definitely a 3 wide position, and he did start that. Not saying that he, he ended it, I'll put it that way, but that was a really, really, really bad move for the 41 and the 8.
It's so tight up there, and you always have to drive on the racing line, and you could easily lose it. Unfortunately, these guys don't mean to make any mistakes and to screw anyone's day up, but they're running pretty well.
They'll need the 8 of a caution flag, the 8 and the 41 to get caught back up, as well as the 21, who has also fallen to the wayside as of late. Up front now, a commanding lead, biggest of the day so far. The 12, a Big D Destroyer, trying to run away. 2 Penske cars leading right now, 1-2, as who's that in 3rd is the 19 of Bags, right in front of the 88, and Fluffy in 5th.
Yeah, the 19's really putting a lot. Yeah, he's got to keep it.
9 car, Pat's ace. He's been having a ho-hum day.
The 19's putting a lot of pressure on that, too. He's running real strong.
Yeah, man. I see that. I think Bags feels like he's had a chance. He's just been tossed in cautions and just been at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Keep in mind that 19 car did win this race yesterday. I keep on saying last week as if it was not yesterday, but it was yesterday. It was a rain-delayed race. That 19 car did win stage 2 and ended up in victory lane. Looks like Martin Truex Jr. has found his footing at Joe Gibbs Racing. Can Bags capitalize on that momentum from the real world? You see a look to the inside.
Goes on the inside of the 2.
Can he bring along the 88 and the 17 with him?
Looks like that's how it's going to go.
This is where you got to show some patience if you're the 2 car, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they all do a little bit, because even that 19, if he runs in there a little much, that can really ruin his day and the line behind him. That 2 has no help up there.
Lots of blue topping your screen right now. You see the 12 cars run away, and the 19, the 88, and the 17, and the 9, and the 38. Lots of blue. you're having some blue in your car, you are having a good time at Dover right now. Well, as good time as any. There's still 60 laps to go. Anything could happen. It usually does.
I believe we got 48.
Yeah, 48. That's what I was about to say.
So, fuel window opens up in 10 laps. If you're in the... Oh, God, a crash! The 38 hard into the outside wall in turn 4. Single car incident.
Caution's out.
Caution is out.
That was a nice green flag run. Big Destroyer, he may have started to get caught by Bags. I was following Bags, and that 12 car was starting to look a little bigger.
This caution, a big break for the 38 car, who did end up triggering that caution. He nosed into the outside wall in turn 4. But the 41 and the 8 car will be brought back up, as well as the 21 car. He was in front of the 41 in the 8, but had lost the draft. He will now be able to get 4 tires, Sunoco fuel in that machine, and perhaps mount a charge to the front to try and salvage something out of this day. Both stages not going to plan for that 21 car.
That's right. So they're still outside the fuel window for one. You know, they got to stop one more time. You think we're going to see some strategy play here? No, they're all on the same strategy.
I believe so, but when it comes to that money stop, if it falls under the green flag, I think you're going to see a lot of 2-tire pit stops versus 4 tires as we get back under green, and the 12 car pushed by the 88 into turn 2 down the backstretch. We got contact! Crash on the backstretch. The 17's in it, and a number of competitors. The 18, the 41, 47, and 21.
The 12 may not have the lead there, depending on when the caution was called, but he went up the track. No, he still got it.
He got third. No, I think he got third.
No, he still has it.
The 12
on Jason Teffer's stream. And that's what we're showing.
Yep. So, one thing that I saw from the 19 is pretty reminiscent. I know you guys have run this track a lot. When you're on the outside of a restart and you're coming around 1 and 2, that wall, that backstretch wall at a 2 comes up so quick. You know, you think you have it, and then the banking drops and there's a wall, and that's what happened to the 19, unfortunately, and it's just tough to react to that.
Well, the 12 car has his teammate behind him, and unfortunately, the 17 car is marred back in traffic with less than 40 to go here at Dover.
As that 2 gets a good restart and pushes that 12 down, and the 18 gets under WVU and Bags there.
What I'm starting to see here is that you don't want to be in that outside line, perhaps on a late race restart. If we get a green-white checker, it's so hard to keep that momentum and keep that guy pinched on the inside. That is, even if you had a good start.
Yeah, and it's impressive, too, because the guys that are on the outside line, and all of these guys, if you're going too wide, it takes a lot of precision to be able to keep it going. And they're doing pretty well. The 19 into the back of the 88.
He is, and he goes sandwich the 38 car on the outside wall. Crash out of turn 4.
So quick. That'll happen so quick. He had to lift when he hit the 88, and I think when he hit the 88 and lifted, it brought the nose down, hit the apron, and there's nothing you can do at that point.
Man, there are a couple of competitors that have had good days, but right now they're in serious trouble. The 88, the 17, the 41, the 10 just now got going, and the 8 car. These guys have all shown some speed and some promise to get up to the front and keep that lead, but right now they're running out of laps.
Yeah, and if we keep seeing cautions, they're really going to start running out of laps to move forward.
This should bring us within our pit window. Everybody that made a pit stop right now. So right now, it's a run to the finish. It won't be a fuel mileage race.
And there was strategy changes there. There were about 5 or 6 cars, I believe, that did not pit.
Now, I have a question, Nick. What would you think if you were the 18 of the New World Order? You haven't really
Crash in the back of the
lead
pack.
any in
The 19 and the 88, Sloppy Joe, hit hard.
What I was getting to was NWO. He hadn't really been in the lead any of this race, but he's had a fast car. What would be in your mind? What would you think he could do to get there?
I think the track position really matters. But then seeing how the change of strategy played out, you never know if it's going to work in your favor or not, because it could keep going. This offset could keep happening. If there's not a caution, he'd have to pit, maybe. If there is, maybe he can pit and then others won't. And it could go either way right now, but I think I'd want to keep the track position as long as I can.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was thinking. NWO just needs to stay up there and hope he can capitalize on something.
Yeah, I agree. We've been seeing really clean lines out of him. Out of all these drivers, just, it's hard to tell when accidents are going to happen. That's why they're called accidents.
Green flag is back out. Just over 30 to go here at Dover. Big D Destroyer on the inside. The 18. New World Order. Oh, sandwich the 2-car out of the groove and in the wall.
Oh, the 18, no.
We rode along with them. We were live.
Yeah, exactly.
And a problem on the 18. He did the right thing, though. He kept it in the outside wall. Typically, we got a crash on the front stretch. Oh, my goodness. 20 feet in the air. The 9. Pat's ace.
You know what's funny? How we're saying they really have to pay attention to everything, right? Because they're going so fast. Pay attention to your marks. I look down at my notes for a split second. I look up at the 9s in the air. Even for us, for the viewers watching, you really got to be paying attention 100% to not miss anything. These guys are really, really all in it right now.
Yep, and that's another thing, man. Like you said, it only takes a split second, and especially with the turns, man. At a Dover, if one guy hits the wall, you got to get down immediately. It's not no waiting half a second. You got to get down immediately if somebody hits the wall.
Let me tell you how rare it is what we saw from the 18. I wish we had the benefit of a replay. Didn't see exactly. We're riding along with him when that wreck broke out on the front stretch. That's going to shuffle the running order. But with the 18, he had that problem. He was on the outside row in turn 2 running for the lead. And he hit the wall. He's outside of the groove. And with how Dover works, usually a car that hits the outside wall is going to come back into traffic. He made the conscious decision to keep that car in the inside wall, and everyone did a great job getting around him, recognizing that he was going to have a problem. I like that. That's the level of competition we see here in this series. It's great racing, and I applaud the efforts of the 18 and the whole crew on that.
Oh, so do I. If anything, he's going to build a ton of respect from the other drivers. He could have been selfish and tried to bring the car back down, but he saw what happened. He knew that he may have made a mistake. I'm going to just take it as it is and try to work my way back up there.
As a 17, he's lurking in the shadows again. He's made his way back up to 6th place.
He is, but does he have enough time? And does he have enough car to do it? He was looking pretty good with over 100 to go. Not so much with less than 30.
That's right. And the guys in front of him, are they going to make mistakes like you were mentioning, AJG, man? Like, are they going to make these mistakes he'll capitalize on? It's possible.
Yeah, and everybody's getting antsy towards the end of the race, so opens up a window for bigger mistakes to happen.
How many laps to go?
Ooh, it's 88. Look. 88.
Oh, no! Jason Geffer.
1 spot.
24 to go.
And a problem out of the 88.
Yeah, that was tough to see if the 41 had to check up or if the 88 just went a little too deep in turn 1.
I think the 41 was trying to give people some room up front, and the 88 just didn't slow down in time to not
run
into him.
As a driver, a mistake made late in stage 3, that's when you begin to panic, because right now they are single file, not saying there's not a chance of a yellow flag, but that could be his race.
It's another one of those split-second things, but just like the 18, the 88 at JRM did an amazing job of keeping it all to himself right there, and the other drivers getting around him. It's unfortunate, but he could still have a chance. You never know.
We like these guys being selfish when it avoids wrecks, but now we're about to see these guys be selfish for another thing, and that's that checkered flag here in 23 laps. Oh, the 38!
The 38!
Big crash in turn 1.
On the inside of 41.
Caution.
Oh, yeah, see? So this is what the 88 wanted to see. What do you think, guys? Alex, do you think the 88's going to pit?
Well, if you're in the back of the pack here, I believe you pit. Why not? You're not losing anything here. You're just going to put yourself right back in the hornet's nest, but you'll have newer tires. If you're up front, I believe you've made your bed. You kind of got to lay in it. Now, I'm not saying that that's not a bad thing. I say make your bed, but you've got to be in control of the race right now. I don't believe you pit right now. It's going to send you to the back. And we have how many laps to go? Less than 20?
I believe 20.
Easily 3 caution flags, and you're at the end of this race, or at least competing for green, white, checkered. These guys up front have got to stay out.
All right, I got a question for you, AJG. So say we have more cautions, and you think there's going to be a lot. With how many laps to go would you say would be the last time you pit if you're going to keep pitting? You think maybe 10 to go?
I was thinking on the lines of about 7 or 6 to go. That would be my
I like it.
We've gotten the green flag. We've got a problem up front. Wow, looked like the 88 car tried to make much by not pitting right there, but there was an issue
20 in the wall.
Coming into turn number 2. The 20 and the 8 car, Sloppy Joe, have not been able to rebound after that earlier incident with the 2. All the way dead last on the track.
Wow.
In the wall, the 9 of Pat's Ace.
The 88 couldn't hold it down there.
Oh, another savage hit into the outside wall. That's Fluffy. Fluffy has hit the wall hard.
This is really jumbling things up for the finish. We're probably going to go green with about 15 or 14 to go. So yeah,
that
these guys
was
are getting ready
a
to make
sledgehammer hit. It almost looked like a tire perhaps went down on the 17 car. That's not likely in this game, but something sent that car dead center to the left. And the right, and he hit hard.
I was on board with him in the 88. It just looked like he lost a ton of momentum. And AJ Storm tried to tuck in behind him, and when he went to tuck in behind AJ Storm hit his right rear quarter pedal and shot right into the 17, and 17 had nowhere to go.
Yeah, and I was watching the 9 car. You know, we were talking about Pat's early on, and he's been kind of stuck in the back, and he was up there, and now he's in the back again. He must not be happy with that.
All right, guys, we're coming to 12 to go in this stage. Up front, it is the 21, who I don't know how he got the lead, but he has it. In the 18 of New World Order, who once again is on that outside line. We'll see. Oh, in the wall hard, the 88. Gallon, the 38 is spinning, and the 20 of NRG. Yellow flag.
Hopefully Miles has finished his dessert and is ready to pay the ticket and get out of the restaurant.
My gosh, he's
dessert.
going to coffee.
This man is.
Oh, buddy.
He is looking for a cigar. He's not done yet.
All right.
I think he just turned this place into a buffet.
Yeah, I think so. He just keeps going up for more, man.
We're going to come to less than 10 to go, and I do believe that breakaway point that you were talking about there, probably this caution. You could probably take tires if you're in the back of the pack. Perhaps if you have a couple of more green-white checkers, you maneuver yourself away from these guys. You'll have the fresh tires, and you'll be able to restart there pretty nicely. But these guys up front, I believe 6th place on back or 6th place on forward, needs to keep their position. The green flag is back out. Could the point leader try and steal one away? He hasn't been up front for very long. Now he's got to defend against the 18 and the 12.
Yeah, they'll be coming to 8 to go. So the 18 is really making moves. He's got a little wiggly on the back.
New World Order.
Nice strong 3.
Doesn't have a win and has been trying to put that 18 car in position to do exactly this. A chance.
Oh, the 2 in the back of the 18 a bit, but the 18 holds it. The 12 had nice momentum, but couldn't keep it on the outside.
How patient is that 2 car going to be behind the 18? I believe the 2 has the better car now.
He does. He's got a great entrance.
That 18 car could be the 21's best friend. It could be the block needed as two Penske cars are side by side for third place.
I don't know. He's getting up to that 21, man. The 21.
Man, 21 serious blocking.
Found a way to get.
And the 18 gives the bumper. He gets underneath. He did. 21 car tried to block, and the 18 car said none of it.
6 to go. All right, 18. Let's see what you got here, bud. Starting in the back. Can he finish in the front?
Dead last for the 18 of Kyle Busch. Started there that way. Right now with 5 laps to go. Can he keep it on the bottom of the racetrack? Here comes AJ Storm underneath. AJ with a run and his teammate behind him. Oh, contact!
Yeah,
oh, it's going to send the 2! Man, the 2 does a great job to save it.
The 18 wants this to go green. He's got a nice lead over there, but it doesn't look like that's going to stay.
Caution is out.
Caution.
Oh, caution's out.
Oh, that's not what the 18 wanted to see. 18 did a good job holding the car. It looked like the 2 and the 12 were a little tight, and that little bobble was just what's screw it.
So, we officially are under the yellow flag with 5 to go, meaning we would allow us to have 2 laps to the finish. It would not be considered a green-white checkered because we are within the scheduled race distance. However, the yellow flag comes out within both those laps, and I'm talking even on the last lap with how this game triggers the cautions, we will see a green-white checkered.
Yeah, you know what I really wanted to see there? I was watching on JRM's feed. I wanted to see some guys hit X and then at last minute hit circle. You know, try and trick the other guys.
Let's see if the 18 can hang on.
This is overtime.
Oh, he doesn't get a good start. He spun the tires. The 21 on the outside. 2 laps to go. Slade
the 21
able to clear the 18 in turn 1.
How many laps to go, 2?
Yep, they're going to be coming to 1 to go.
Slade with a good lead down the backstretch. 1 car length lead. They'll face the white flag this time by. It'll be 1 lap to go. Sponsored by Ron Imports. Can the 21 survive a bump from the 18? You know he's going to give it to him. But now the 12 car looks underneath.
The 18 had such a good exit out of 4-2. It's just unfortunate he just...
Oh, the 21 defensive line in turn number 3. 12 Big D Destroyer
is
on
the 18
the back
in
bumper.
the catbird seat right now? Is the 18 in the catbird seat?
Slade is going to do it. Slade out of turn 4. Wins the 1 and 9 400 at Dover and pains Miles the Monster in the process.
Wow, what a
NWO,
great
man,
run.
That's a good one for him. Even though it wasn't a win, he still got a 3rd place finish.
Yeah, that was great to see. I thought he did an excellent job. I think all these drivers did an excellent job. There was such a mashup of who's in the front, I think it was like he's got a conveyor belt with these drivers in the lineup. That was great. Good job there, Slade.
Yeah, you know, like every time I race with Slade, he's always found his way to the front at the end. It looks like he did it again.
3rd win of the season for that 21 car. Your point leader right now, able to get those 5 precious playoff points and tame Miles the Monster. That 21 car at times looked like he was not going to be even have a shot at the win. And I will go on record. I do believe there was one point I said, I don't even know how he got the lead. He was able to do it then. Let's get Slade in here quickly here, guys, because I, unfortunately, will have to go. So I might have to end this broadcast very, very soon. It might only just be just one. But let's see if we can talk to our winner. And he's in. I don't even know if he did anyone even invite you? He just showed up.
I did.
Oh, did you? Okay, that was quick. He's like he knew. Oh, man. Congratulations there, Slade. You survived. I don't even know how you got the win. How did you get the win?
Well, I really don't know. Me and the 18 of New World Order. Let's see, we were 1-2 in that restart, and we took no tires. Me, the 9, the 18, and someone else I forgot took no tires, and then the 10 took 2. So we're sitting there, upon restart, and I think the 18 missed a shift or something. I got
Yeah,
around
that's
them, and
really
I thought the 12 on fresh tires was going to just plow into me that turn 3, but head under ways, I guess you could say, for that race. But the 21 was really good. That race, I'd say we probably had let's see, I'd say probably 4th, 5th place car around there. David didn't have a winning car. The winning car was lagging horribly. And then Fluffy got caught in the back, but it's just real unfortunate there for those guys. But I'm glad we come out that win. Dover's always been one of my favorite tracks. Past 6 races, we've won 3 of them, so we're doing pretty good here. They're pretty good.
You are the point leader right now. You've been able to win multiple races now this season. What's next in line as you prepare for the championship out of esports for NASCAR in the real world?
Just keep doing what we're doing here, man. We still have, a lot of guys in here who are in the pro league bags. Jason Keffer. A lot of guys, Rowdy, Fluffy, a lot of those guys who are very fast. And are in the pro league. We're still keep doing what we're doing here, just putting ourselves in a position to win week in, week out. And we're going to keep it going. Yeah. We should have, actually, for you guys watching at home, we should have this thing when we're doing week in, week out. Hold on. Sorry, am I sounding weird now? But
Well, congratulations there, Slade. Unfortunately, we'll have to cut the interview a little short here. We'll try to get everybody in here, but
no.
roll out. But let's get congratulations out in order for the 21 car, your point leader and now race winner at Dover International Speedway. Let's see if we can talk to Big D Destroyer, and I'll let Nick handle that interview.
What do you want, Slade?
Hey, Big D, man, that car of yours, man, that 12 was real racy early on. Then we kind of lost track of you in the middle of the race. What did you do to get that 2nd place finish?
Man, just sticking with it. Run your own race and try to avoid the carnage that was going on. But, man, I thought I was going to have Slade going into 3 there. I was able to get under New World going to turn 1. Kind of just threw it in and it stuck. And then I knew Slade was on old tires and he went shallow, so I was trying to cross him up. But he did really good in getting right in front of me and stopping, so hit the brakes a little bit, kept himself low. If I went high, maybe things would have been a little bit different, but, it is what it is. I'll take a 2nd place finish.
Yeah, Big D, man, it looked like you, there was one point where all 3, Penske cars, and I say that with Slade and the 2 of AJ Storm, were all together, and it looked like you all made contact, and then all you guys were in the back of the pack. Just talk about your day. It was a revolving door just getting back to the front. It looked like no one could keep up in the front without being sandwiched by a mistake by either themselves or another competitor and put them back in the back.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of, all right, back to the front, and I got caught up, and I'm back to the back. Pick up tires, go back to the front, I'm caught up, and go back to the back. So it was just, revolving doors, the most correct term you could probably use there. But I mean, it was great. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it, but it's tough. It was hard to swallow. I thought I could have gotten it.
Well, you're still rewarded with a 2nd place finish, and not a bad effort here. You came out with 1 piece and some great stage points there for you heading into next week, which I do believe is at Kansas.
Hey, Alex.
Yes.
Alex, join this race real quick.
Wait, what race? I don't know what we're talking about.
Did you get an invite?
Did I get an invite? From Slade right now? Yes. Wait, what's happening?
Oh, we got a nice little change up for everyone. I'm not going to ruin any surprises.
Invite me in there.
Yeah.
When you get in there.
But before we get into this New World Order, I got to say, man, I was following you early on. I saw you didn't have the strongest qualifying result, but early on I saw how strong and how conscientious you were of the other drivers. You were lifting, you were giving everyone room, you're doing great. I saw a really strong car and you. Good job with that finish.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, New World, I wanted to ask you, it looked like man, there were a couple of times where your car was on the outside and it just didn't bite. You just couldn't keep it on that outside line there. There were a couple of times that you actually went to the back of the pack. I wanted to applaud you. There was one time where you hit the wall hard and you kept it in the wall. You made the conscious decision not to go back out to the racetrack and take out other competitors with you. Just talk about the racing, how tough Dover is.
Yeah, for me, it was a fun race. I know there was a lot of wrecks and a lot of dive bombing and stuff like that, but I was trying to keep my nose clean. I had a pretty good car, first time on a good car in like 3 weeks. It was fun racing up front with those guys. My gears on the starts and the restarts were not good. I probably had the worst restarting gears, and Slade got me on the restart, and the Big Duke got past me, but it was a good race for me. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Awesome, man.
Yeah,
Glad to talk to you.
take a lap around and go to the start-finish line, buddy.
Yeah, we're watching. This is actually this is new. We haven't done this. We haven't seen this here, but we're watching some of our top competitors actually take a victory lap here at Dover, and you see the 21 car. He's going to park that thing right on victory lane. You know, Ryan Blaney did this, was able to give a checkered flag to a fan. Don't think we're going to see that, but Penske Racing 1-2 right now. We have the 21, obviously, for Wood Brothers Racing, which, if the Wood Brothers do get their win here in 2019, it would be their 100th Cup Series win. Paul Menard trying to deliver that, but right now we have Slade, who is the next best thing. Congratulations there, Slade. Just an awesome job for that 21 machine. While he's doing victory burnouts and everything, all of us want to give you guys a thank you for continuing to watch us here on the Midnight Broadcasting Network. I, unfortunately, have to go, so I'm going to have to cut this there short. But I do want to let you guys know about our upcoming schedule. Again, you can always find us here on the booth on Tuesday nights for the Pocono Raceway Cup Series, bringing you live flag-to-flag coverage here on the Midnight Broadcasting Network. Next race that will be streamed live, I believe, will be Thursday, Trucks at Kentucky, if I remember that correctly. That they should put on a great show for you guys then. But Nick and AJ, some final thoughts before we turn them loose?
Slade, man, you know, I've raced with you for a while, and I realized every time I'm in a race with you, you always figure out how to get to the front. What's your mindset going into the final 30, 20 laps to go?
I don't know if Slade's in here. I think he's just in the race.
No, he is. I don't know if he's talking though.
Well, he's too busy celebrating, and so will we. But I'm gonna have to cut this short, guys, unfortunately. So I gotta go.
No problem. Thanks for having me, guys. It was a lot of fun. Thanks, Wood and Vine. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Great job in the booth as always, and thanks to Slade, your winner of the Wood and Vine 400 at Dover. From all of us at the Midnight Broadcasting Network, we hope you enjoyed today's race. We'll see you next week.